Check the audio as we're streaming on Twitch. Check the audio as we're streaming on Twitch. Wow, we're getting... Check the audio as we're streaming on Twitch. We're getting echo and lag.
Fun.
That's not good. Oh, this happened a couple of weeks ago, and I never did figure out the problem. So, let's... everything back on again, and see if that helped. Everything back on again. Nope. Oh, wait. I think I did... oh, yeah, that's right. This thing needs to go down. Wait, is that there? Yeah, that's there. Okay. So that should take care of that. Yes. Okay. We did figure it out. That's right. Okay. All right. So we're streaming on Twitch. We have audio. Dementia Radio now and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have not one, but two sleeps!
We have Michael Bolly of Two Sleeps. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we will have a pre-recorded interview coming up later in the show with Joe Vent, a.k.a. the Right Reverend Jarvis T. Hornswoggle. Welcome to episode 678 of the Funny Music Podcast for June 15th, 2023. The title of this week's episode is A Hypnotic Vessel. And I will put that into the chat so that you can refer to it later in the show. All right. Let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, I went out to have dinner with Ian and Sara. Yay!
Oh, cool.
As was prophesized in last week's episode. Yeah, so it was cool. They are in the area for a vacation, and they gave me a call, and we went out to a pizza, like a wood fire pizza type place, and just hung out and talked, and it was a good old time. And and then once it got to be around like we met up at 6:30, when it got to be about like 8:30, 8:45, and it was getting a little cold because we were in kind of an outside seating area. You're like, oh, let's go find, an open, Starbucks or coffee place or whatever, to just so we can hang out and talk some more. So we went to a Starbucks, kind of kitty corner across the way that appeared to be open, but no, they either just closed or were about to close. And then we walked down the street to a place called the Republic of Pie, which has coffee and pie and stuff. And there was a line. We were waiting in line. And then when we got up to the front, they were like, oh, we're closing too. So then we looked up on Google on the phone to say, oh, here's a Starbucks that's near here we could drive to that's open until 10 or 11. And we go over there, and we get there, and the drive-thru is open, but the inside part has all of its chairs up, and there's a sign saying, sorry for the inconvenience, but we're closing this part of the restaurant, at 9 from now on. And then we were like, okay, fine, we'll go to the North Hollywood Diner, which is just up the street, because they're a diner. They're surely open late. And we get there, and, Google says they're open, and we park, and we go inside, and they're like, there's people in there clearly eating, and the woman behind the takeout counter bar or whatever says like, oh yeah, we're actually about to close. It's like, so New York is the city that never sleeps, and North Hollywood is the city that sleeps at 9 p.m. sharp, apparently. So
I'm surprised
the
diners are usually open 24 hours. That's kind of the point of a diner.
It's like, there's literally a neon sign outside that was turned off that said open 24 hours because they used to be before the pandemic, and now I guess they just decided screw it, So, so that was annoying. We basically after that point I was like, well, I guess it was nice for us to talk. Time for us to all go, for them to go back to their hotel, and I went back to my apartment. It was like, all right, we literally gave it 4 chances and it didn't work. It's like, all right, screw it. So whatever, it's fine. I might see them again before they leave the area, but we'll see what happens. But it was very nice. And then I've gone to the cinema to see films. I saw the new Transformers film, which has things about it that are good. I mean, generally speaking,
Dude,
compared to most of...
Coming from you, who likes everything, there are things about it that are good. That's not high praise.
It's like Bumblebee is like, go check Rotten Tomatoes. Bumblebee has like a 91%.
Oh yeah,
rating.
Bumblebee's great. Bumblebee is like the one good Transformers movie.
So basically, this is like, of the, I believe this is, if you count Bumblebee amongst them, this is the 7th Transformers movie, I think.
Something like that.
So basically, this is the second best of the Transformers movies behind Bumblebee. Yeah, I guess mainly for me, it's just because I never got into the whole concept of, the Beast Wars and Beast Machines.
I didn't either.
Because I think it's stupid, because the whole point of the Transformers being a cool idea was that, cars and trucks and jets and stuff are made of like metal and machinery, and so are robots. So the fact that a robot could flip itself around and look like, be disguised as a vehicle of some kind, that makes sense. For a robot to be disguised, as, living, breathing animals and stuff, it's like, that's dumb. Why would that be a thing? And for the majority of this film, all of the Beast Machines are in their beast mode up until like the big final climactic battle. Then they finally all turn into robots. It's like, you could have done that like any other time. It's like, what's the point of like...
And also, most of those animals can fight. Like, gorillas can fight, I mean, trucks not like, so much. So there's a reason to transform a truck.
Yeah. And also, like, all of these, big beastie animal transformers, it's like, oh, we're trying to hide out here on Earth by pretending to be these forms of animals. It's like they're like 20 times the size of the actual animal when they're in animal mode. So it's like, who are you fooling here? It's like,
you actually have birds this big on your planet? No.
Like,
how do you expect to fool anyone? You are wise.
Like, here's a leopard, here's a 20-foot leopard, here's a leopard. One of these things is not like the other. But
that was a quote from Mom and Dad Save the World, by the way, in case anyone has not seen that film.
I can't remember. There's so many films that Jeffrey Jones did in the 80s, I'm not sure which ones I've seen and not seen.
That's a great one. That is such a great film.
Anyway, so, but at least Optimus Prime is the correct form of truck.
That's good.
So, another thing I liked about the movie was that since the movie takes place in 1994, and Bumblebee, according to like the canon of that particular Transformers universe, like his ability to speak normally has been eliminated, so he basically has to like record things from radio or TV and like use that as his way of talking. So all of his lines of dialogue are like from, before 1994. So at one point when they're looking at something strange, Bumblebee actually says, using Rick Moranis' voice from Spaceballs, "What the hell am I looking at?"
That's awesome.
So it's like, there's a bunch of moments like that where, like, I was the only one in the theater laughing because I was the only one that knew the source of where all of Bumblebee's lines of dialogue were coming from. So, yeah. Anyway, what else did I do? I saw Across the Spider-Verse again because Kyle and I recorded our Talk About Tunes segment about that, which will be thoroughly full of spoilers. It's not coming out until a week from Sunday. We have a special guest we're trying to line up that was supposed to be on episode 250, and we're waiting to see whether or not we can actually record that with her or not. But even if we don't, we have an hour's worth of us talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse that we can post on Sunday the 25th. So
cool. I'm planning to go see it again before your episode comes out. And just this afternoon, I went and saw Elemental, the new Pixar movie. And how is it?
It's all right. Did you see Zootopia?
No.
Well, See Zootopia.
Okay.
It's like, if you have to choose between Elemental and Zootopia, by all means, absolutely see Zootopia. But
because I mean, the trailers for Elemental just don't interest me in the least, and I'm not sure why.
I think it's because Pixar has been doing the, you know, and I didn't invent this meme, obviously, but like, what if blank had feelings, and, you know, kind of formula for, or like, what if we anthropomorphize this thing and did a billion puns on this particular type of thing? So they've done that with, you know, dang near everything, and now it's like we're literally going. It's like we've run out of ideas. We literally all we have is, you know, air, water, earth, and fire. You know, so, and it's a love story. So there's heart. So it's the Captain Planet movie, apparently. I don't know. But I mean, it's cute. It's funny. I don't think it would make my top 3 of the year for animated films because we already know that. We already have Super Mario Brothers and Across the Spider-Verse, and Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is coming, so that's probably going to be our top 3, unless something incredibly phenomenal comes along that we didn't see coming. So yeah, I mean, I'll get more into it, you know, whenever in another couple of weeks on another podcast episode, but it's alright. And then I already have a ticket. It's dumb because I woke up, I recorded a podcast with Kyle, and then I went to the AMC 16 in Burbank to see Elemental. Then I came back here to record a podcast with you, and after this, I'm going to go back to the AMC 16 in Burbank to see The Flash. So, yeah.
Elemental's at 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was expecting it to be lower than that. Ooh, The Blackening is at 83%. I need to go see that.
That looks like it's going to be really funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like
Spider-Verse is at 96%. Who gave that movie a bad review? Who? I want names.
Edgelords. As I was walking out of Elemental, there was a dad and his son, and I'm kind of guessing from the context of their conversation that maybe they had been there and saw Spider-Verse earlier that day, and then they came to see this, you know, possibly, or whatever. The point is that they had seen Spider-Verse before they saw this. And as they're walking out, I hear the dad say to his son, well, I think I like the Spider-Verse movie a little bit more than I like this one. And I'm like, a little? The greatest feat in animation versus... So I was... It's like, just shut up, Luke, shut up, let it go. They're fine, they're fine. At least he didn't say that he liked Elemental more than Spider-Verse. It's like I think I like Spider-Verse a little bit more than Elemental. But yeah, it's like the worst Pixar movie, for the record, in case anyone's wondering, is a movie called The Good Dinosaur. And a lot of you are saying, well, what about Cars 2? That's because you all forgot that The Good Dinosaur existed, because you either saw it and you're actively blocking it from your memory, or you didn't see it, and that's why you keep saying Cars 2 is the worst, because you didn't see The Good Dinosaur. The Good Dinosaur is the worst Pixar movie.
I have seen The Good Dinosaur, and I watched it specifically because you hated it so much. And I had to see it.
I was so psyched going in to see it because it was a new original Pixar movie, and it's about dinosaurs, which I grew up loving, and like, it was so weird. I saw the movie and I left it, and I was like, I have weird feelings about this movie I don't recognize. And it took me a long time to figure out, like, oh, I hated it. That's why I feel weird about this movie. There's like
that's hysterical.
There's one scene specifically that I thought was funny in that movie, where it was like that one, I forgot what type of dinosaur it is, the you know, Styracatops, like the big thing with like the tons of horns coming out of its face, and they had like birds sitting on all the horns.
Yeah.
And he had like named all the birds, and he had backstories for all of them. Like, I thought that was funny, but
Styracosaurus, I believe.
Yeah. So, so basically, my point is that Elemental far superior to The Good Dinosaur and the Cars movies. It's a fun love story, and there are genuine and there's also genuine laugh out loud moments. I was going to say there's also in front of it a little cute short with Carl and Doug from Up.
Cool.
Carl, the premise is a woman that we don't see on the phone, like, calls him on the phone and asks him out to go on a date, and then he spends the whole cartoon being worried about going on a date, and Doug is there talking to him and helping him, and it's super cute. And it's actually Ed Asner, so I don't know how much they recorded with Ed Asner before he passed away, but it's amazing that they still have him. Oh, Doug.
Jax is having problems. I don't know what's happening out there, but there was crashing and barking and howling. So
I have just met you, and I love you.
Are you having problems? Are you having problems? Yes, you are. Okay, go out. Go ahead.
So, yeah, that's about
What's
it.
happening?
So what have you been up to?
Bodie ran into a bucket and kicked it, and it fell down the stairs, and he ran down the stairs in front of it.
Bodie ran into a bucket and knocked it down the stairs, all the way down, chased it down the stairs. Okay, so that's what happened. So he chased a bucket down a flight of stairs. All right.
Apparently, it was a hypnotic vessel. I must chase the bucket. It is calling to me. This hypnotic vessel.
So, my day job is like going crazy, on the verge of exploding, because like our biggest client is about to launch a new product, and we have like all the projects due now. So they're like, they told us yesterday, plan for weekend work, and I'm like, I don't wanna. So that's what my life is going to be like, which is probably going to screw up my plans to work on new music, which I was planning to spend this weekend doing. But anyway, on Monday I started a new session of my acting class. This one is called Advanced Fundamentals, which is basically it's a refresher of like the fundamentals of acting that he's taught us in the past, and except he's giving us more complicated scripts and longer scripts, and like more geared towards what we would actually do. Like the scripts we got for last week's class were pretty well branded to the people who were acting them. And I actually took notes this time, which I'm glad I did, because after class, that morning, I submitted for a role, and the next morning I got a call back for the audition. So I was like, ooh, they sent me the scene, and I'm referring to my notes, and I'm like, okay, I gotta, break this down and see what I can do with it. And then, I actually I asked my teacher if he would be willing to rehearse it with me, and he was more than happy to, and he gave me a whole bunch of pointers. I'm glad I did it, because he picked out a couple of things in the script that I didn't. So I think it made my performance a lot better. And then, when was it? Wednesday night, I think. No, Tuesday night, I recorded the self-tape audition, edited it on Wednesday, and sent it in Wednesday evening. And now we wait and see if I got it or not. So hopefully, fingers crossed. It's a spoof comedy, very much in the vein of Police Squad.
Cool.
So I am very excited. It's a pilot, and I have a feeling it's a spec script. I don't think it's something that is like in active development. I think it's something that's going to be shot on spec, and they're going to try to pitch to the networks. But the script that they gave me was legitimately funny, and I was like, I'm excited for this. So that's about it on my end, other than dogs chasing buckets downstairs. So Mike, what have you been up to?
I have been having a blast with my wife making clips for the crowdsourced Psychostick video.
Nice. I forgot the deadline is this Sunday, isn't it?
Sunday, yep.
Yeah, so because I was planning to do something, but I didn't have any ideas. So what did you do?
We actually did a bunch of stuff. We started out in the woods for the made it through the wilderness part.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of just got silly. We did some like crazy lighting, and like did some parts where like the call and response part, I'd like pop up from out of nowhere and be like, la la la, shit like that. It's pretty cool though.
Nice. That's awesome. I hope they use lots of your footage.
Yeah, I'm in the Discord group for them, and the person doing the video posted like a rough cut of it, and they used our stuff pretty heavily. So
cool. Yeah, I should see if I still have time to do something, because I keep forgetting about that, but we'll see.
Yeah, some people are just doing like super, super basic, like prop the phone up on the dresser and just do like one verse or something. So It doesn't need to be crazy elaborate or anything.
Yeah, I'm debating how crazy I want to go, because like part of me is like I could film myself just like sleeping on a hammock or something with the music playing in the background. just let them do that.
Well, someone actually already, according to the description, they mixed themselves a drink, sat down in a fancy chair, and then just lip sync the vocals to the whole song.
Nice.
Just sitting in the chair. So the hammock would probably fit right in.
So that's awesome. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, actually, because I wanted to do something with that. So you posted a song.
I did post a song.
Give us a quick intro. We'll give it a listen.
Well, this is my cover of Dissociative by Nuclear Bubble Wrap, and it's one of my probably top 3 favorite songs of theirs. Really like it a lot.
All right, here is Dissociative, Ford, I Think I'm a Sofa by Two Sleeps.
I have never known the things I knew before. The physics went astray, I looked up to the floor. I had never flown to what the future brings, and nothing was a thing except perhaps the fire. Just observes as if from other worlds, but lacking brains or nerves. I had never dealt with evil lucid dreams till someone might have screamed about some kind of fire.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Brett G in the chat says this is an improvement on the original, so he likes it better at least.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the original. I'm excited to hear the remix of that album.
This is from Multiverses, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So, very cool. Yeah, good job with this one. Wildcard, oh, speaking of which, Wildcard resubscribed on Twitch, so thank you, Wildcard. 30 months in a row. But yeah, Wildcard says, it feels so weird to hear a Two Sleep song that's not heavy metal. It's metal-ish, I think. There's some...
Yeah, it's there. Well, there's one riff in there during the chorus that's pretty metal. Other than that, it's a little bit of a departure from my usual stuff.
Yeah, it sounds really cool, though. Were you trying to emulate kind of their sound with, your style, or were you like trying to separate yourself from them more?
My approach was kind of to keep the vocals pretty much exactly the way they were, and then to just with the instrumental go full two sleeps with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. So you said this was like one of your top 3 songs. What are your other 2?
Well, I think my favorite one is probably Leading Cause of Death. I can listen to that song 15 times in a row and not get sick of it. And the what is it called? The Sexy Dinosaur one off of Problematic.
Oh. The one about the T-Rex?
Perfect Design or something.
Yeah.
Like
Intelligent Design. Yeah.
Intelligent Design. Yeah.
Can you stop licking my microphone, please? It's not good
Sorry.
for microphones.
But it tastes good.
Yes. Hello, Jax. This is Jax for everybody watching at home. Say hi to the people over here. Like, see? See? Look. Okay, he's going to interview you now. Yeah. No, I guess not. All right. Go upstairs. Okay.
That's a show I would watch. People being interviewed by dogs.
I could do that. Actually, what I want to do is film Jackson Bodie doing their fight wrestling stuff and just start a YouTube channel called Puppy Wrestling Federation. And like, just have, announcers and stuff and have fun with it.
You could do trash talking voiceovers.
Yes. In this corner, weighing in at 8.5 pounds, it's Jax.
I'm going to kill you. Rah, 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 rah.
Yes, indeed. So I don't know what else what else can you tell us about this song? Why did you choose to do this one in particular?
Well, my other favorite songs I feel like are just too perfect. I wouldn't be able to add anything to it or bring anything to it that wasn't, which isn't to say I don't think this song is good, but yeah, it's just the one that I thought I could
you could put your flavor on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You could put your beard on.
There you go. At least some of it. I got a little too much, but
okay, yeah. You have plenty to spare.
That's right.
Oh, that's very cool. So is this song isn't like directly about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is it? Because I was reading the lyrics and it's tough to tell. It's one of those songs that it's like you can sort of interpret it that way, but
yeah, I'm not sure what the inspiration was originally on that, but
just because the Ford I think I'm a sofa thing, because Ford Prefect was a character and there was a scene where he turned into a sofa, and
right,
or was it him or somebody turned into a sofa? I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, that movie's a tough one to remember. It's a little goofy.
I actually just listened to the original audiobook not too long ago. I was in the mood for it.
Yeah, I just did John Dies at the End on audiobook. That's a fun one too.
I don't think I've heard of that one. Who wrote that?
Oh shoot, I don't even remember. I have to look it up.
It's not important. So what else is going on with you?
I've been doing a lot of music lately. I was super busy working on projects for other people for a while, and I got like a couple weeks where I didn't have any super pressing things to do. So I got like 3 of my own songs finished. I got 2 songs almost finished, and another like 2 songs just in the beginning phases.
Yeah, because I know you did some work with Jeff Whitmire on some of his songs.
Yep. Yeah, we're actually working on a couple things right now that are pretty exciting too.
Nice. So are you hoping to have a new album out anytime soon?
Yes, actually, I just finished the first song for the new album, and it's going to be sort of an autobiographical journey, but told from the perspective of a dog.
Okay. Do you have a title?
I don't have a title yet.
Do you have another album out?
I do have the one album out, the one with Horny Horse on it.
Songs for a romantic comedy about serial killers. Okay.
Yep, that's the one.
I don't think that's on. I don't think I knew that was out.
Yeah, I dropped that quite a while ago. Probably actually before I was ever on the FuMP.
Okay, it's 2021.
Yeah, the first song I submitted to the FuMP was off that album, and I think that was. Yeah, I remember because I asked you if it was okay because the policy is not to put things on the FuMP that have already been released.
Yeah, generally
been released, but nobody had listened to it, so it was fine.
Yeah, we try to keep like not unreleased or recently released is like
Right.
within the past few months is usually okay. But what we don't want to happen is like, because we have people paying us for, you know, the music we post, and we don't want to be charging people for something they may already have. So, you know, something that went viral 5 years ago, we don't want.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that policy.
So trying not to screw the listeners too bad. I mean, it's bad enough we make them listen to our music, you know.
Right. Push it too far, they'll leave.
Right. All right, now I have an album I have to listen to. Yeah, I didn't even know this was out there. Cool. New music.
So everybody else who didn't know it was out there, go to Bandcamp and download it.
Yes. Or I'll listen to it on Spotify, so you'll get 3.5 cents off of it.
Sweet. Dude, I gotta say, a few months ago I got to where I'm finally getting consistently like a couple listeners every day, or like there'll be a dip every once in a while. And just that little bit is all I need for my self-esteem. So if you guys want to just stream it a little bit.
A little bit every day. That's all it takes.
A little bit every day. That's all I ask.
For just 3 minutes a day, you too can help a bearded musician.
That's right.
Just go to Spotify. Look up Two Sleeps. You'll find him. Got Luke. Write that down. That's a Cirque du Soleil sketch. We got to do something with that. All right. Anything you want to talk about, or anything to plug?
Not really. Everything's in the near future, so just you can go to twosleeps.com. It will redirect you to Bandcamp, or you can look me up on streaming services.
All right, cool. So are you sticking around for the rest of the show, or are you taking off?
Yeah, I could stick around.
Okay. Let's do some news.
Attention comedy musicians and comedy music fans, the Logan Awards are taking open nominations for outstanding comedy songs and videos released last year for this year's awards. Did you release a comedy song or music video in 2022, or have a favorite comedy song or video that was released then? Then nominate it for the Logan Awards today. The Logan Awards are essentially the Comedy Music Awards, sponsored annually by the Funny Music Project, and are presented in 3 categories: Outstanding Original Comedy Song, Outstanding Parody Song, and Outstanding Comedy Music Video. If you have a comedy song that was released in 2022 that you'd like to nominate for 2023's awards, head to LoganAwards.com and click the Nominations tab at the top. There is a minimum and maximum of 5 nominations per person. Hurry! Nominations close this year on June 30th. For more details about Logan himself, the awards, and more, check out LoganAwards.com. Help us commemorate the year's best comedy songs and music videos with a trophy, the way they do with every other form of entertainment. But if you want your favorites to win, you have to nominate them by June 30th. Get your nominations in now at LoganAwards.com, brought to you by FuMP.com.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, Quartet has reached his goal of his Kickstarter, as we mentioned last week, so he has set up a stretch goal of $9,000. If he reaches $9,000, that will cover all of the costs for the production of the album, and he will be able to upgrade the vinyl insert to a gatefold sleeve, meaning that in addition to the lyric insert, he'll be able to do the intensely stupid artistic thing he has in mind. Also, if he hits $9,000, all the vinyl rewards will get the gatefold sleeve, and for any pledge over of $100 or more, he will call you on your birthday and sing happy birthday or a reasonable royalty-free alternative, as he says. So go to Kickstarter.com and search for Worm Quartet Carpe Tedium. He has 13 days left on his campaign. As you just heard, the Logan Awards are still accepting nominations. They will be accepting nominations through the end of the month. Go to LoganAwards.com and make your submissions. I still need to do that.
I still need to do that too.
And FuMPFest news. We have another artist we can announce. I did update the website the other day. Jeff Whitmire will be joining us on stage at FuMPFest doing a full concert. And I did mention Bonnie Gordon in the past. So both of them, I still need to send out an email. So I'm not sure what I told who, what I posted where, and what I emailed who. But yeah. And the FuMPFest 2021 compilation is... Check it out. It exists. See? Look, I have it. It's real. It exists. I just need to add it to the FuMP store, and we'll be good to go. So, then you can order that. And so as soon as I add this to the store, I'm going to be sending out another email update, and I have to add a news entry to the site and stuff like that. All right. Luke, you got anything before tour dates?
Yes, this just in, because I'm tweeting about it right now, because I finally got around to being like, oh yeah, I can do the thing now. At long last, on Spotify, the Lukeski album Unconventional!
Dun 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 dun!
Yes, featuring such songs as Vader Boy and The Spongy Dance, both of which were on Dr. Demento's Funny 25. Star Wars prequel Homesick Blues, A Man Named Jane, the Floxed Up remix of What's Up Spock. Oh, and a little ditty by the name of Grease Wars, finally available on Spotify, as well as iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and other places. So there you go. Tell the people, shout it from the mountaintops. You can finally listen to that album on Spotify. Hooray!
Hooray. I will listen to it tomorrow while I'm heading to a friend's house. All right. Tour dates. Saturdays on Twitch. Jake Dewar. And one of my other lights came on. I don't know why. I mentioned this in the past, but I have track lighting up here with 8 lights, and 5 of them are out. One of them just came back on. All right. Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee.
It was waiting for Unconventional to be available.
Apparently, yes. Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. And there it goes. So, sorry. Mondays on Live, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. The weekend of the 15th through the 17th in Brentwood, Missouri, Mikey Mason. On the 23rd, online, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The weekend of the 23rd through the 25th in Wichita, Kansas, Mikey Mason. And on the 27th, online, Carla Ulbrich. And birthdays coming up on the 21st, Jeff Whitmire. We're mentioning him a lot this show for some reason. All right. Second song this week is a new one by the Right Reverend Jarvis T. Hornswoggle. Here is My Little Country Gal, followed by an interview with Joe Vent.
Let me tell you about the apple of my eye. The town folk think she's mean, I don't know why. God-fearing, scared, gun-toting, and Caucasian, and American as good old apple pie. Well, she never worked a lick here on the farm, and the chickens run when she comes round the barn. I don't think she would do 'em any harm, no. They don't recognize her rustic charm. Yeah, she's my little country gal, and I love her though she's evil and she's foul. She has all the excitement of a wet town. She's my country gal. Alright. Yeah, her anger and her rage are palpable.
has to pay when she's uncomfortable. That's why she's gone and got political. Yeah, she thinks she's going to Washington, D.C., so she can represent us properly. She wants to prove all those conspiracies. Oh yeah, give this country back to you and me. 'Cause she's my little country gal. And I love her though she's wicked and she's foul. She's the knee-jerk leader we need right now. She's my country gal. As proud, and she makes her points by talking extra loud. But when in office she will not be cowed nor pushed around, and she'll keep our coffers well endowed. 'Cause she's my little country gal, and she'd like to see the manager right now. She's got the wit and wisdom of a dead owl. She's my country gal. She's my country gal. She's my country gal.
I am here with Joe Gent. Joe, fuck. Let me cut that. I'll cut that out.
That's all right. You can. Hey, that's better than my real name. More entertaining, anyway.
I am here with Joe Vent. Actually, I won't cut that out then, because it's less work for me. AKA the Right Reverend Jarvis. I just can't talk. You see, there's smoke in the air, and my brain is fucked up. So that's what's happening. I'm here with this guy. He did a song. Let's go.
I think that's about all. That's all we need to know.
So yeah, tell us about your country gal.
Well, I don't want to say too much. I'm probably not the first person on here that doesn't like to break down the stuff they put into a mush and then record. And it always sounds weird. I think, to be like coy and go, I don't know, man, you got to listen to it, man.
Well, we just heard it. So
then you just heard it. There's a lot of self-evident stuff there. There's some, the character I do, this Right Reverend Jarvis T. Hornswoggle, is based like a 100-year-old character. I've said that a few times on here, but not that everybody's got that memorized. And I like to kind of put kind of modern spins on what it is he talks about, or the ironic aspect of if somebody was singing about those things 100 years ago, how they would apply to today's society and times. So and that the protagonist or whatever, the focus of the song happens to be female, but obviously that's not what it has to be to apply to modern day frustrations and people like that. Karens are the most important, kind of like played out hacky way of putting that, but it's kind of what we're all used to.
Yes. In fact, I just read an article that there was a diner or something called Karen's, where the whole point of it was that the waitresses and stuff would just scream at you the entire time.
Oh, like a worse Ed DeBevick's or something. Yeah. Nice. We need more theme restaurants that torture people. I'm sure there's people who'd pay for it.
Yeah, there are. Well, apparently not enough, because they just closed 3 of their locations. But
wow, I'm under the irony is, I guess, if you want to call it irony, is how many of those exist, without being theme restaurants.
That's the truth. Yes. So yeah, why with this whole character you do, why did you decide to choose that era of time to set the character in?
I just think that it's funny. And we've said this before as well. There's not only the fact that, from a historical perspective, everybody a lot of the recording artists. I mean, recording was new in the 1920s. Most people didn't have even a Edison cylinder or a phonograph in their house. You can get them for free now at garage sales, which is really sad. But anyway, not only were there recordings that have been uncovered since then that were innuendo laden and or more overt, but it's just funny. I just think it's kind of funny that someone from that era would be just singing and expressing themselves that way, yet it was inadvertently funny.
Yeah. There were a lot of songs back then like that were very like double entendre, innuendo type songs, but they were considered like taboo hardcore pornography at the time. They were like hidden in the back of people's closets, and only brought out for certain company.
It's crazy, isn't it? And I wonder who owned them. That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
It had to be rich people. I mean, I would think, right?
Probably, yeah.
The uber rich in 1920, they paid a whole $4 for a phonograph, and all
the same people who party with cocaine and hookers every weekend today, all of those people were the same people who would own those records at the time.
Yet, as we got into the 50s and 60s, you had the party records like the Red Fox records and the comedy stand-up stuff, which they probably didn't even call stand-up at the time.
Yeah.
So
by the 50s, a lot more people had record players. They were far more common.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, but I just think, again, and the ideas keep coming for this. I have always promised that I'm going to do comedy songs that are not this character, and I've got a few of them in my back pocket. But it's like, okay, now there's one where he, and the what's the word I'm looking for? The kind of the way this character is just kind of like flummoxed by things, I mean, there's more of those coming, like, just modern technology and things. I don't know. It's nothing new, but it's my spin on it.
So you're taking the character out of time and bringing him into modern times,
or just having him reflect on things in the past that are hilarious today. Some of those haven't been completely finished yet, but like just like how people would be like, I think in one of my songs, it was about, she had a skirt all the way up to her ankles or something like that.
Yes.
Wow.
Scandalous for the day. Yeah,
exactly. And what I'm trying to do is avoid being canceled in the modern era. I don't know if that's going to work on this last one, but so many people take so many things at face value. But, that is one of the things that you play with is gender roles, I mean, and unfortunately, it seems like we're spinning backwards with that stuff. And well, we'll see how that turns out. We'll see if the 10 Commandments are going to replace the Constitution in 5 years.
We'll see. Are you familiar with the New Orleans Steam Cog Orchestra?
I don't know. Huh?
Okay.
Is that Milo Pinkerton's?
Yes.
Band? Yeah.
Yes.
Then I've seen them. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, they're another old-timey turn of the 20th century type band. I would love to see like your character versus Professor Pinkerton's character and like play off each other. You should get in touch with Lewis.
Yeah, and I think I will. That's great because I've seen some of the videos, and somebody else commented on one of the did a post about that, the comments about that, I think, and that'd be great. Yeah, haven't been in New Orleans in a couple of years, but I don't know where they regularly play.
They're in New Orleans. They normally play in that general area. They do spread out a little bit, but it's generally down there.
And here in Milwaukee, where I live, there's a chap who, I don't know if he stole it, but his name is Professor Pinkerton Xyloma.
Oh, okay.
He does a similar thing, but he does also circus and kind of a sideshow act, if you will, and magic.
I wonder if Pinkerton is like an old timey word.
I don't know.
Pinkerton Security Company.
Yeah. I don't know.
Detective agency.
Somebody to send a pay and quit or a cease and desist here. It's not my goal.
Old timey. Let's see if there's.
I'm friends with Pinkerton who lives here.
Okay. Oh well. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Wow, I never am ready for this. I mean, the single was released last week, and worldwide, and obviously, I want people to share it and post it and all those things. Create playlists with it, which I still haven't figured out how you're supposed to get people to do that. That's another.
Yeah, I haven't figured that out either. There's services out there that promise to get you on all the biggest Spotify playlists for only $5,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, no.
You'll end up making $5 when they. Yeah. But that's the main thing. I mean, I know the name isn't easy to Google, but it's the Right Reverend Jarvis T. Hornswoggle.
If you can spell it right, it shows right up.
Oh, good. Yeah. Hornswoggle only with O's. Even my designer puts an A in there every once in a while. Don't do that. And there's a little guy, a little person who apparently was involved with WWE who was called Hornswoggle. So I don't want to be confused with him. I probably shouldn't have said that. Hey, cut that out or don't.
Nope, too late. It's in. I'm not editing this. We're done.
Yeah, and I think he only lives like an hour away, so he could probably come here and kick my ass. And hopefully somebody would be filming that.
I was checking to see if Google would autocomplete if I just typed in Right Reverend, but it doesn't, unfortunately.
And you run into all that crazy stuff. It's it's funny how I've noticed people. There was that whole time where we realized that you have to have something really unique in your name to be Googleable, and now everybody spells W with 2 V's, like Always, the band, and whatever. And now I've noticed that they're going away from it. Like just fuck it all. They're gonna go. My band is called The Square. And they don't care anymore. So
I mean, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. There's a band called Ack, which is spelled !
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess that works. I don't know if they're still around. Let me Google that and see if it works.
I think they are. At least, I know
Google turned up no results, so they are not Googleable. So,
well, it's a choice, right?
Yeah.
I've always heard it pronounced click, 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 but
okay. That I'm sure there's a dozen ways to pronounce it.
It's good performance art, I guess, right? Or it's good, yeah. And hey, it starts a buzz, I suppose, compared to, like I said, either being so outrageously Googleable and unique versus being doing everything you can to buck that.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we will catch you next time.
Sounds great. Keep it up. Thanks, FuMPs.
Thanks.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. That segment of the show we do about now. Feedback. Feedback.
And there's no feedback this week, so...
Hello, Devo. Hello, Luke. Baramon here. I'm afraid there's no feedback this week. No feedback at all. I know how frustrating this is, with you going through the effort of crafting an intro for everyone. So now is the time to remind them to subscribe. Use that Prime subscription if they have one. It's free. There you go. That's a good boy. Have a biscuit.
Damn it!
Okay. Let's do some teasing.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a joke.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by Steve Goody. And
Tuesday song is not yet posted.
We'll have to see what happens with Tuesday's song. All right. This week's Spotify playlist topic is fatherhood, suggested by Draconis, because Father's Day is Sunday. Happy Father's Day, everyone. All right. Mike, plug yourself one more time.
twosleeps.com. Two Sleeps on streaming services.
And check out his album that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
That's the other album I'll listen to on the way to my friend's house tomorrow night. Because
Excellent.
It's an hour drive, so I can listen to one down, one back. All right. Luke, you got anything else?
Hey, Unconventional is on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon and the places.
And the things. All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and then look, there's some sleeps, and you can have them.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of FIDEM Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say...
On Spotify, the great Luke Ski is listed under G because I'm a real G, yo.